We are back, and we are going to talk about so much going on, but I first want to talk about the Winter Woolen Workshop.
I know. It's a huge mouthful.
W cubed.
Yes, yes. And the reason why that we named it that way is because it's in the winter, and it was started with wool, because we don't have any wool vendors here for people who do things like rug hooking. This is not your grandmother's latch hook. A lot of people say, oh, I made one of those rugs. No, you didn't. This is wool strips. Made into, like I showed you last week, beautiful works of art. But we have, I'm so excited because we have vendors that have vintage things where we have, they've taken trash and making it into treasures.
Just like the television programs.
Exactly. And they're repurposing a lot of things. We've got mainly Indiana artists.
Wow.
But there are a couple that are nationally and internationally known that are coming for the first time, and I'm very excited.
This is a big deal.
It's a huge deal. When we started, our humble beginnings were in the Elliott House on the first floor, one bathroom for many, many women.
Sure.
Which is,
that's a great idea.
Conversation. Now we're in 2 buildings, and we have all the demonstrators, like the Quilt Guild will be hand quilting. That's our local quilt guild. We'll be hand quilting and doing wool applique. In the dining room in the Cyberlane. Then we have the group called the Twisters, Sisters, and Misters, and that's spinning and weaving.
Which is really cool if you have not seen that before.
It is awesome. It's not just the county fair, which I think a lot of people think that this is for people, old people. They cannot get that out of their head that this is just, when I do a craft or a hobby or a quilt or crocheting, they think, oh, my granny did
I was
that.
one of those people.
I know.
You had to educate me.
I'm bringing you over to the dark side. But it's a wonderful, it's just a wonderful place to get your hands on something to figure out if you like it before you invest. Because there's an investment. There are some quilters who have, instead of diamonds, they have fabric. I mean, it can do that. And I think the cost sometimes when people look at that, they think, oh, I could never do that. Well, we have small make-it-take-it kits where you could come and sit down, buy a kit with one of the groups, and you're actually going to physically learn how to do it and practice it. There's no rush. There's no time limit. That's why we've morphed into a 2-day event. And it's so much fun. And the energy in there, the creativity in that room is unbelievable.
And let's be honest, there are a lot of great places, a lot of great venues in this town, but the Cyberling Mansion seems like it is the absolute perfect fit.
It is absolutely gorgeous, and it comes to life. And that's the other thing. People have said to me, Beth, you've gotten so big. Why don't you move into like a convention center or a bigger place? It would totally wipe away.
Change the dynamic.
It totally would. And so we're very excited about being there and partnering with the Howard County Historical Society. And hopefully, one of these days, we'll be able to do something similar during warm weather or warmer weather where we can be outside. They used to have, I don't know if you were born yet, but they used to have something called Antiques in Action.
Okay.
Did you ever go there? Okay.
Sorry.
Well, no, it's okay. It was really cool because it was like a blacksmith, all of the things that are handwork that people put their hands on or to create something was taking place on the grounds of the Cyberlane.
And why do you feel like it's so important to kind of introduce this to generations? Because in the world of technology, in the world of smartphones, in the world of video games, why is it so important?
Well, because I think some of the arts are being lost, and technology is helping us to revise and revisit the art, and it can help us to just keep it and share it with more people, like the YouTube videos. If you make a YouTube video of something that your grandmother taught you that you've been doing for Easter, the Easter eggs, for forever and ever and ever, how to make your own dies, and you can communicate that and spread it around a little more, because there are a lot of people who don't have an art center or a place where they can share those ideas and actually have a hands-on
experience.
Right, exactly. And so that has really helped us. And I just think it's important that we tell the story, but we tell it correctly.
And we're lucky because we do have a great art center, and it is filled with artisans who have all kinds of different crafts. And this is just another one that's coming to the forefront because the diversity is getting bigger and bolder and better.
It is
every day.
I think we've successfully brought fiber art and fine art together. Because that's another thing where somebody will say an art gallery or it's an art show. They think it's full of paintings that they could never afford.
Right.
And now it's a form of everybody's art is art. It's your eye. What you think is art is art. And there's so many things. I mean, and there's so many styles. You don't have to be an art major to be an artist.
It can be music. It can be wool. It can be
Anything.
painting. It can be
Anything.
trash to treasure.
Well, we love, we've got a young kid that just came into the art center last week, and he wants to paint skateboard decks for a living. And I said, let's have a display. Let's have an exhibit because, his stuff is absolutely fabulous. And then I'm going to send him down to Sean at Comics Cube and say, hey, you got to look at this kid. Because, he is...
Sean is such a great guy.
I love Sean. He should be the mayor spokesman besides you because
sure.
he is he's just wonderful, full of energy. I love him.
And what are the details on the clinics, the show, everything this weekend?
The way that we work it is it's an open make it, take it demonstration, hands-on, Saturday 10 to 6, Sunday 11 to 5.
And I don't have to be there right at 10.
No.
I can come and go.
It's a come and go. And generally what's happened, we started as one day. And people went home and they had questions or they fell in love with something and they didn't get to go into that room and hang out there.
Oh, okay.
So we opened it up to a 2-day event. And it's been fabulous. And people actually have brought kits and projects that maybe they started years ago or someone showed them when they were a teenager and they brought it in and then we've gotten
kind of picked it up.
And showed them maybe a new technique that may help them complete that project. So
but even though it's a 2-day event, the ticket price is still for both days.
It's $10 and you get your hand stamped or you get this little ticket to come back the next day.
So if you want to wash your hands, you can use that ticket.
Absolutely.
And again, what are kind of things that they're going to see?
They're going to see everything from knitting and crocheting and not your grandmother's stuff either. I mean, there's some funky iPad cases. We've got owls like galore. I just saw some of this stuff the other night. There's actually going to be, you're going to be able to make a granny square, which is...
Really?
And that's going to be all day. There's going to be 5 different types of squares, 5 different instructors. And that's in Groovy Girl Yarn's booth. And
if you haven't met her...
Yeah, Mandy is.
You owe it to yourself to talk to her.
She is so much fun. We've got to get her on here.
She's funny.
Oh, she's hysterical.
And she's a great example of breaking that mold.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's not your grandma.
No.
And what people think. And then we're going to have, you know who Rufus Porter is?
I've heard of him.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about him at another time. But there's a Rufus Porter painting class that is a document box. So it'll be painted in his style, which is a style. It's like the murals that people used to paint on their houses in New England on the inside where it depicts a story of the village that they live in. And then we have a punch needle embroidery class taught by Lynn Soleric, which you know her.
Yes.
And then we have a rug hooking class.
Which is really, really cool.
It's awesome, and it's in a tray, so you can carry the tray around and bring your wife coffee, tea, or a Diet Coke, whatever she likes, and chocolate. And that's by Allie Strebel, and she is from Kindred Spirits, she's an icon in the industry. And she's our featured artist.
Fantastic.
And she's a designer. She's fabulous. She's so much fun and down to earth. So those are the classes that we have available.
And it's all $10.
Well, $10 to get in. Now those classes you pre-register for.
So hurry up and register now.
Oh yeah, but you'll be able to buy a rug hooking kit for $10 and use somebody else's supplies to see if you like it. I mean, it's
try before you buy.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to take a quick break and then we're going to change gears because I want to talk about First Friday.
Okay.
We'll be right back. We are back, and one of the things that I'm really excited about is downtown, and we are bringing, I say we because I guess I'm downtown.
Yes. Yeah.
Beth is going to talk about First Fridays.
All right. First Fridays, it is not our invention. It is something that other communities have been doing for a long time, but we have so many things happening down here that people are not aware of.
New businesses.
Yeah, we have new businesses. We have old businesses renewed. There's so many things happening. People just don't get it. They still think going out on 31 and going to the mall is the place to go to eat Friday, at 5 o'clock. they all head down, on 31, and there's so much happening
Right.
down here. So,
But as a sidebar, we appreciate all of the businesses that make Kokomo what it is.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But it's
I just wanted to say that.
it's just teaching that we've got new things going on down here also. And we decided now I'm speaking for the Kokomo Art Association. I wear a lot of hats. I should have my different hat on.
You should.
But anyway, we decided to partner with Kokomo Downtown Association and develop the First Friday concept for Kokomo. And we've started to do that. We just jumped in. The Kokomo Art Association, we hosted one last month.
That's kind of how I got pulled in.
We just jumped in because there's been talk for 2.5 years. And we said, oh no, we're jumping. Here we go. Yeah, there's too much stuff happening right now. We've got to go with the energy.
Great, solid businesses.
Yes, we've got to go with the energy. So what the idea of First Friday is that everybody who is established down here extend their hours, who would like to extend their hours. It's not a have to. It's not a private club. We want everybody to be involved.
Sure.
If you want to do, if you are an attorney or a service organization down here, we as the Art Association will help you put an artist into your business where you would invite all your customers, past and present, your employees, and bring them in and for an evening of entertainment.
Sure.
And also just to see the different businesses and the growth that have taken place down here with something to do. We also, with the help of Sound of Music and Gary Rum, are going to provide a menu to businesses of how much it'll cost to have a soloist, a 2-piece, any kind of genre of music, a 3-piece, a 5-piece. So that when somebody contacts the Art Association, we will hand them that menu, what's available, and they will contact Sound of Music and Gary Rum to get a musician and to get within their business or in front of their business. We're not at this point planning to block off any streets, but we want people to come into the businesses and see the great buildings that we have down here, the architecture, and for instance, if we've in some recent conversations, we found out there are some businesses who really can't stay open past 6 o'clock for various reasons.
Because of money reasons, because of
security, and there's a lot of issues. So we have suggestions for people to just have a First Friday activity. Take your employees to lunch. Order lunch on First Fridays from one of the downtown businesses or the mom and pop shops around town. I mean, we hope that this morphs into, we want South Historic Main Street, the Main and Markland District to be, involved in this. We're encouraging West Side to be involved in this because they're established, shopping districts with services. But we want people to come downtown for an event and for more than one or two things going on.
Because let's be honest, Kokomo is genuinely blessed with great businesses all over the place.
We really are. And
this is just about another way of celebrating.
Celebrating and networking together and being ambassadors for one another, because we are each other's ambassadors. To get, my comment before about 31 was not a slam to them. It was just that I think we get into such a habit that's all that there is. And there's so much more than just 31.
Well, and I will throw myself under the bus that I am one of those creatures of habit, that I live on the northeast side of Kokomo, and you break it into quadrants that, I don't want to drive to the west end. It's so far away.
Right. Which is so funny to me.
It is funny.
5 minutes.
I know.
Come on, Mang.
But it is one of those habits that I know I fall into. So that's the kind of stereotype that you're trying to break and try.
We really are. And even to get people who've worked down here for a long time, a lot of the people that work at, at 4 o'clock, they're just watching that clock like, let's just go home. But they haven't been really in downtown other than their office and to park. So we really kind of want to change the whole momentum. And when they come out of work, we want to see that there's things happening on the
cartwheels down the sidewalk.
Exactly. And, we're going to start out small. We have big ideas, but we're starting out small. We want to bring everybody on board slowly. We have the Art Association has the Artworks Gallery, and we just decided we wanted to be the hub for people to help them and to, just network with them. The Bohemian Tattoo Gallery next to us, oh my gosh.
That place is amazing.
Their art, I I just encourage everybody to go and see their art. They have
The
incredible art
lighting,
from international art.
the lighting down the hallway, those are, can I call them sconces? Whatever the electrical fixtures are in the wall, those are art themselves.
I know he has. I mean, he's paid attention to detail in that building, and it is just fantastic.
And
So
that's the thing that you're really wanting to bring to the forefront. It's more than just
it's more than just come down here and get a haircut or come down here and get some food. Come down here and see the people and feel the energy.
talk to your financial advisor.
I mean, we've got a bakery coming downtown, and a lot of people that hasn't even hit them yet, And I mean, we have so many things downtown, and we really, the parking's not that much of an issue. You have to drive around a couple blocks, and
and that gives you an opportunity to see even more businesses.
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, it's really, and that's going to be rectified here pretty soon.
Yep.
We're going to have so many things available to us.
Well, and I know you're going to be in the hot seat even more because there's so many things that are going on.
I'm going to bring Mandy next time with me.
She really needs to be here because it truly is amazing. So many exciting businesses, so many things happening in Kokomo and Howard County. Just like I mentioned, there's so many theater activities, so many sporting activities, so many fashion shows. Just be a part of it. That's basically what it is. It's all here. It's all local. It is our favorite place to live, work, and play. It is Kokomo.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I know you're going to be back in the hot seat, but we'll see you tomorrow.